Blaming your losses on your psychology is probably the biggest cope ever. Not ever, but you know what I mean. 9 times out of 10, you actually need to work on your system because that will help build your psychology. And what I mean by that is people aren't following a step-by-step process. And when they take a loss, oh, it's just my psychology. I need to work on my psychology. Once my psychology is good, I'll be a good trader. No. In some cases, yeah, like if you struggle to actually follow a step-by-step plan, then you might have some issues, right? But if you don't, then stop watching this video and go and make a step-by-step system. A lot of the time people will say they struggle with fear of missing out and fear of losing, being wrong, and just not knowing, lack of info. So a lot of that is all emotional and not system-based. And if you do have a step-by-step system, it removes all of that. It removes all of that emotion. If you actually have the data and have everything that makes a system. Right, a lot of the time fear of losing comes from no conviction in your strategy. It just comes from not knowing what you're looking at, and you don't have a step-by-step system to say, to show what you're looking at. And FOMO is just emotional, and it kind of links to you not having data backed up to say how many trades you could probably get in a week. And being wrong is just ego, right? You don't want to be wrong because your ego doesn't want to allow you to be wrong. And in some cases you can have a pretty big ego, and that's when you start to blame things on your psychology, or maybe blame bad price action for a loss, when really if price action is really bad, which I don't believe price action is necessarily bad, right? Price will do what it has to do. It's more so it either follows your system or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then just fuck off. Go for a walk, do something else. But nobody really talks about how to set up your technicals in a way that it protects your psychology, so you can protect your emotional, I guess, triggers. So it's so simple. It is, people overcomplicate shit too much, but it's just step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and these all link back to your rules. So you need to build things out so it's, if this, then this, if this, then this, if this, oh, this doesn't make sense, all right, no trade. Oh, but I think this, no. just follow what the system says. It's genuinely so simple when you break it down. Right, and a lot of the time people work on their psychology, but it's just mental masturbation. You think you're doing something productive, but you're not. Doing something productive would be backtesting, analyzing your data, forward testing, all the boring things that people don't want to do, and they just go on YouTube, oh, look up psychology content. Oh, guys, I need a good book to read on psychology, I'm struggling. As I say here, people lose weight just to see they had abs this whole time. What does that mean? Well, in terms of trading, I should have added one here. The more you work on your system, the more you realize the psychology was always there. You were always capable of doing the thing without any emotion. You just didn't have it set up in a way where you could do that. So you're working on your system will just mold your psychology and your mindset. And then having the data and the experience, that'll just kill any kind of emotional, rational decisions. So, you've got overtrading, hesitation, FOMO. It all just links to not knowing when the next trade will come and not knowing how many opportunities you'll get when really. If you have the data, you will find that over 1 year you had maybe, I don't know, however many opportunities. It's different for everyone. Everyone has a different trade frequency. Me personally, I can get 3 entries a day maybe, if everything aligns. But a lot of the time it won't. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Fuck off. So what I'm trying to say is it's just you doubting your system, not your actual mental, if that makes sense. So you kind of have to push your ego aside and then just take a step back and realize where you're going wrong. If it's your system, then go back and have a look at what doesn't work. What doesn't work together, and how you can actually minimize a loss based on an emotional decision, which is just simply putting things into a step-by-step plan. And if something doesn't tick off your box, don't trade. See how it plays out. Just walk away. I personally believe that it's a 50-50 split between psychology and technicals. Because you can be the most, stoic person. You can be so not emotionally attached. But if you're trading, if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know what you're trading, you're just going to lose. So how do you actually do that? You just got to be clear. People just overcomplicate shit because they don't want to do boring work. There's nothing worse coming into the market and not knowing what to do when you're actually looking for trades instead of letting the trade set up and come to you. I see it way too often. So if you actually have the data and the facts to back up your model, you'd be happy to wait 2 weeks for a trade. It might bag you 5 figures, it might bag you 4, depends on where you are. Depends on if you're funded or whatever. Doesn't matter. If you just knew that you were going to take a win and you could wait, why wouldn't you? Why what's stopping you from doing that? Are you too subjective with your data? Probably. Yeah, are you adding enough context to what you're actually trading? Probably. So what's that? Your system. It's not your psychology. People won't really... A lot of mentors, a lot of traders out there won't really show you how to do boring shit. Because it doesn't sell, right? It doesn't sell. And that's their goal. Their goal is to sell you to pay their rent. So over time, it will become easier when you develop that context for whatever concepts you're trading. ICT, smart money concepts, support and resistance. It doesn't matter. As long as you have that edge, that step-by-step system to remove any kind of guesswork, you'll be profitable over a year or two. Right? Focus on the long term. Focus on your quarterly. Focus on your quarterly profit and loss rather than daily, is what I'm trying to say. If you take a loss and it ticks off your system, you can review it, see if you actually went wrong with the system. And if you did, take that loss on the chin and don't blame your psychology. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't blame your psychology. Don't take the easy way out. Hopefully that, I guess, I don't know. I was going to say hopefully it clears things up, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And to be completely fair, I'm guilty of saying all of these things. All of these things, and you could probably find me saying these things. It's because I didn't have a step-by-step process to follow each day. I didn't have the process next to me, and then I missed something, and that's my psychology, that's my ego taking a hold of me, when really I just didn't look at the system. I just didn't look at the step-by-step process. And people don't want to build that step-by-step process because their mentor said this is valid. Oh, okay, I'll take this. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, well, he said it's valid, it's okay, it was just my psychology and blah, 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 blah. Biggest cope. Go and do the boring work and then you'll just see your results. It's that simple.